24 parts. Maybe when I say the body has 24 parts, some people are not going to comprehend it. Why do you think I'm saying the body has 24 parts? Rose. Feladi Rose. Feladi Rose, can you answer me? Why do you think I'm saying that the body has 24 parts? Somebody answer me. You guys are usually very bright. You guys are usually very bright and very quick. Quick snack. Quick snack. Mbio. As we continue, the body is the same as the day. Okay, that's the one reason. Why do I say that the body has 24 parts? We know the 12 parts. Where are the other 12? Because the body is the same as the day and it's the same as the year. So the day has 12 nights, 12 days. The body also has 12 and 12. So where is the other 12? The shadow. Amal, clap for yourself. Amal, clap for yourself. The shadow self. Every day you wake up, even right now where I'm seated right here, you see this is my hand, but behind there's another hand there. So there's this part and then there is that reflection. You see? When I'm doing my hand like this, you see another reflection there. So the body has 24 parts. The 12 are on the flesh, while the other 12 are on the shadow. When they tell you to do shadow work, they are telling you to get back to your origins. Because this is what we call shadow work. So we have the shadow self and the flesh. So the shadow self has 12 parts, the flesh has 12 parts. Up to that point, is everybody with us? Yes, there's a physical and there's a spiritual. We are mwili. Kiswahili calls it mwili. You are two, always. We live in a dual world. We are two. You don't walk here alone. Even you don't see things one. These eyes of mine, they are two. When I'm looking at this phone of mine, there is a phone reflection that is appearing here. There is a phone reflection that is appearing here. So every time you see anything, you're always seeing two things at a go. The one is dual. You don't see things one. Every time you see things, you see the spiritual self and the physical self. The spiritual self and the physical self. So some people are not aware of the spiritual self, so they only look at the physical self. When you only look at the physical self, you miss a lot. When you only look at this, when you look at people and you don't see this, you miss a lot. Now there are people who have eyes that can see this and both this. Some people have eyes that can only see this. Some people have eyes that can only see this. But the goal is for you to have eyes that can see this and this. Because every time you're looking at something, right now I'm looking at you guys. You guys appear here and here, both on my eyes. Do what? Up to that point, I hope we're together because these things, they apply a lot in your life. And as we start to explain what the body is the same as the day is, then it will apply also. So now, this is the day. I've already told you the body. It has a shadow self and the flesh. Now this is the day. It has a shadow self and flesh. So when does the day begin? These are the questions that I ask. When is the sun born? When does dawn crack? Now, people answered it. Somebody's here saying 7 p.m. According to this. And by the way, before I even say when is the sun born, listen. You hear numerology. Listen, relax, Rose and Seraya. You hear numerology. Now, numerology is astrology. I'm going to explain to you numerology in African numbers. Africans, when the sun is rising, they call it 1. 1 is Leo during the day, and 1 is in Aquarius at night. So listen, and I'm going to be teaching with European astrology just to get you into the gist of it. We will get into the African astrology as we document and expand. So wait. What you call Leo during the day is called Aquarius at night. What does that mean? Loving yourself during the day causes you to know yourself at night. Or knowing yourself within. This is within. Night is within. Please notice my wording. At night you are within. During the day you are without. You are with the outside. At night you are with yourself. During the day you are outside. So that is what it meant. During the day you are without. You are with outside. You are yourself plus outside. During the night you are just yourself. So now, what is called Leo? I want you to listen to the polar opposite first of all of the zodiac. What is called Leo during the day is called Aquarius at night. Meaning your self-love translates to your self-knowledge at night. Your self-love translates to your self-knowledge at night. Your self-analysis translates to your self-belief at night. What is called Virgo during the day is called Pisces at night. Your self-balance translates to your authenticity at night. Your self-desire translates to your self-support at night. Your self-usage translates to your self-feeling at night. Your self-knowledge translates to your self-love at night. Your self-belief translates to your self-analysis at night. Your self-authenticity translates to your self-balance at night. Your self-support during the day translates to your self-adventure at night. And then your self-feeling during the day translates to your self-use at night. So the numbers, what is called 1 during the day is not what is called 1 at night. Why? Because what is 1 during the day means when the sun is rising. When the sun is starting to show its face, that is what we call 1. That is what the vibration of 1 is. This thing is written in African time. 1 is when the sun starts to show its face. Now, when the sun starts to show its face, it's not the same as when the sun is born. The sun is born at 3. That is why many people wake up at 3. At 3 is when collective consciousness returns from within to without. So during this particular point, the sun is born. And then the sun starts at 4 a.m. in the morning, the sun is still young. 5 a.m. in the morning, the sun is still young. 6 a.m. in the morning, the sun is still young. And then the sun starts to show its face at 7, 8, 9. By 9, we are at the equinox. Now the sun is starting to be hot. It is starting to be of value. It is starting to give out energy. That is what transitions at the equinox to become 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 noon. Restricting over expansion. Now this is where the sun rises here. If the sun was to rise here and for it to go just like this up to infinity, then it would mean that the sun did not restrict over expansion. But the sun rises and then restricts over expansion at noon, where its power starts reducing. And so by the time it reaches 1 p.m., I'm talking about 1 p.m., but African time calls it 7, Sasaba. 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. After 6 p.m., we enter into another day that the sun is not there. When the sun is not there, we start 6, 7 p.m., 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. The sun is born again. 4, 5, 6, the sun rises. So this is how the day moves. Starts and then ends. So you notice what happens here is what happens here. So the night comes before the day. So whatever happens here at the last 12 hours of the day is what comes to happen at the first 6 hours. I mean, the last 6 hours of the day, first 6 hours. And then the last 6 hours of the day The last 6 hours of the night, first 6 hours of the day. The last 6 hours of the day, first 6 hours of the night. Are you guys seeing? The last 6 hours of the day become the first. The last 6 hours of the night become the first 6 hours of the day. And then the last 6 hours of the day becomes the first 6 hours of the night. So you learning how this thing runs is what I want to do today. You learning exactly how the wheel of time runs is what we are going to be doing today. So the night comes before the day. The night comes before the day. Self-knowledge, self-belief, authenticity, self-support, self-thinking, self-feeling, these birth these, and then these birth these, and then these birth these, and then these birth these, and that it continues like that to infinity. So now if I'm to ask you, let's look at the places where the planets are safe, because this is the, oh shoot, what the fuck is happening? This laptop likes behaving like this when I'm teaching, and when I'm not teaching it stays awake until nobody even turns it. But anyway, I love you still. I don't know what's your problem. I'll tolerate, okay? I love you still. I don't know why you do that. Anyway, guys, listen. Let's look at the 7 days of the week. We have Sunday. The sun is safe in Leo. What does Sunday come to do? Sunday comes to help you see yourself. So when during the day, the 24 hours a day, where is Sunday safe? I hope you guys are getting what I'm talking about. During the 24 hours a day, where is Sunday safe? Sunday is safe. This is the time that you see yourself. Sunday is safe in Leo. Leo is here. Where else is Leo? Leo is here. So when you want to see yourself, this is the hour. And this hour of the day and this hour of the night. What are these hours? When the sun is rising and just after midnight. Those are the times that you see yourself. These are the times that the sun is safe. Now let's go to the moon. Please, can you explain the infinity again? Pam, can you just ask a direct question where I can now explain? Because, okay, let me just explain it, but if you don't get it, ask again now a general question where I can now answer. This is how the day starts. When the sun starts rising, remember the sun starts rising differently from different places. And I don't want to enter into Europe and Asia because they are time aware. Somewhere like China, they are very much time aware. They are using the spiritual timelines. Now in Africa is where we are not using the spiritual timeline. So I want to emphasize on African timing. What do we mean by one? The vibration of one according to African time is the vibration of self-love. And it comes when the sun is rising in the morning. One. African languages call it one. The time is one. But then European languages will call it the sun is 7. That's what it is. 7 a.m. It is 1. Saa moja. Vibration of 2 is the vibration of self-analysis. It comes when the sun is just rising, at least being visible. Waking up, the sun is waking up. The vibration of 3 is the vibration of self-balance. Comes just when the sun is about to start getting hot. Now, this is when the sun is cold and this is here the sun is hot. So we have an equinox. In the morning, when you're waking up, there's the way the sun moves. There's the way the sun moves. And that movement of the sun is what we're tracking here. So when it is morning, the sun is still young. The sun is a little bit getting a little bit hot. The sun is becoming a little hot to the point it's about to transition. It becomes hot to the point now it can create. Now at Scorpio energy is when the sun can now create. And by the way, why these numbers, they correlate with the identities of this particular zodiac. At Scorpio now is when the sun starts to create. At Sagittarius, the sun is now adventuring in the morning. And then you get to Capricorn, where now the sun is restricting over expansion. The sun is resting, being useful. And then, when the sun restricts over expansion now, we have Aquarius up on the self-knowledge. When the sun now bends to start losing its heat, it goes to Pisces, number 8, self-belief. And then authenticity comes. Authenticity is the last hot sun. Now it goes to being cold as it transitions to be born again. So the sun becomes into Taurus, self-support, of which I'm going to explain further even as we go. Gemini, self-thinking. And then Cancer, self-feeling. This is when the day has ended. Now the sun has risen, the sun has risen, the sun has risen, the sun has set. When the sun has set, the sun again goes underground. The sun goes underground at night. Now this is 1 at night, 2 at night, 3 at night, 4 at night, 5 at night, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here the sun is born again. The sun is born again at number 9. At number 9, the sun is born again. At number 10, the sun is now starting to walk, to learn how to walk. The sun is starting to learn how to run. The sun is starting to learn how to be visible. And then the sun becomes visible. Still low momentum, gains become hot. Goes becoming hot, restricts over expansion at noon, the hottest time. Now this is the hottest time, this is the summer solstice, what they call the summer solstice. During the day, noon is like summer solstice, the hottest time of the day. And then the sun starts to reduce in tempo until evening. And then at night, you start again. The sun is dead, the sun is dead, the sun is dead. And then the sun is gone again. And then it starts again. So I hope that up to that particular point, we are together because we are going deep in it. We are going deep in it. So now I was telling you, the 7 planets, they have safety inside the day. The sun is safe in Leo, meaning you seeing yourself is safe when you wake up in the morning, when the sun is rising, and after midnight. After midnight, those are the safest times to see yourself. So when you're somebody who you have a watch, you know your weakest houses, please mark on your alarm. These are the timelines, they come with those vibrations that will help you to do these particular things. The sign of infinity. The lovely, they follow the sign of infinity. Moon is safe in Cancer. Where is Cancer? Where is Cancer? Where is Cancer? Cancer is here. So if you want to empower the moon in your life, if you want to empower intuition in your life, if you want to empower self-feeling in your life, come at this time. Evening, 6 p.m. That is saa 12. 6 p.m. in the evening and at midnight. That is when the moon is safe. Seeing yourself is safe at 7 and at 1 p.m. At 1 a.m. 1 a.m. 7 a.m., 1 a.m. The moon is safe in Cancer, which is 6 p.m. and midnight. And then we have Mars. Mars is safe in Aries. Taking action. Guys, look at this thing, by the way. This is how you work with the cosmic rhythm. Taking action is safe at night, just before 9. At 9, I mean. After 8. At 9, taking action. And then here, taking action at 3. Taking action at 9 and at 3, safest. Those are where Mars is the most active. Now, after Mars we have Mercury. Mercury is safe in Gemini and Virgo. So if you want to think for yourself, these are the best times to think for yourself. 8, when you wake up at 8 a.m. in the morning, thinking for yourself is good. And also at 5 p.m., thinking for yourself is good. Now when you come at night, thinking for yourself is good at 4 a.m. in the morning and at 11 p.m. just before midnight. That is Mercury. Then we have Jupiter. Jupiter is safe in Sagittarius. This is the best time to adventure. 11 a.m. in the morning, the best time to adventure. Some people, they always say, I'm always seeing 11, 11, 11, 11. Maybe your ancestors are saying you need to be adventurous individuals. So 11 in the morning and 5 at dawn. 5 at dawn and 11 in the morning. These are the best times to adventure. If you want to have adventurous thoughts, if you want to adventure, if you want to do something adventurous, these are the times to time. Now, after Sagittarius, which is Thursday, we have Venus, which is Friday. Venus is safe in Taurus and Libra. So Venus is here, loving yourself. Seeing yourself at Leo, loving yourself here. The best time to love yourself is at 9 a.m. in the morning, during the day, and with Taurus, 10. That is 4 p.m. in the evening. The best time to love yourself. During at night, the best time to love yourself is 10 p.m. at night, saa 4 ya usiku, and 3 a.m. in the morning. These are the best times to love yourself. Please take note and utilize. Now the last one is Saturn. The best time to rest. Even Saturn is safe in Capricorn, so restricting over expansion. Even the sun restricts over expansion here. So noon is the best time to rest. It is the best time to restrict over expansion during the day. And then at night, the best time to restrict over expansion is 6 a.m. in the morning. 6 a.m. in the morning. So that is the day. That is me telling you about the day. But we are not done, because I want to enter into the year, but I want to use the day to show you what the year is all about. So let me just move this here. So now let's talk about the year. We are going to come back to the day, but let's talk about the year. And guys, please write if you feel like there's something you need to write. Please write. So the day starts here, while the year starts here. So the day starts hour 1, hour 2, hour 3, hour 4, hour 5, hour 6, hour 7, hour 8, hour 9, hour 10, hour 11, hour 12. While the year starts at January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So the day starts here and goes like, the day starts here and goes like that. The year starts at the opposite and goes like that. So now listen. Thank you, I can see better now. I'm glad, but there's more to see. There's more to see. So we're going to start by where the year starts as we go. Now, what happens in January? So listen to me. And listen good, because this is going to help you a lot. Now, Aquarius embodies your obligation. What does January come to do? January comes to help you embody your obligation on the planet. January comes, so listen to this particular follower. How do you embody your own obligation on the planet? By knowing yourself. If you're a Capricorn, your obligation is to use yourself. If you're a Sagittarius, your obligation is to adventure. If you are Pisces, your obligation is to believe and to help the entire planet believe. So January, your obligation is January comes to help you know what your obligation is. January comes to help you know what your relationship to the great circle of life is. Now, after you know what your relationship to the great circle of life is in January, in February, that particular knowledge generates transitioning into the infinite. Know yourself. Embody your role in the great circle of life. That knowledge of yourself and embodying yourself into the great circle of life will give you infinite access to yourself. What we call self-belief, Heru, is infinite knowledge about yourself. Knowing yourself will bring you infinite access to yourself. Now that infinite access to yourself in February brings you storage and distribution. Here you know yourself, you know your role in the infinite. That knowledge of yourself and your role in the infinite helps you to access infinite self-belief. Now that infinite self-belief that you access triggers distribution. No, not distribution, sorry, I've talked about Libra. It triggers planting. So let's start. In January, you know yourself. Please listen to this because it's going to apply to during the day as well. In January, you know yourself. Your relationship with the great circle of life happens in January. In February, because you have your relationship to the great circle of life, your infinite self-belief is unlocked. This infinite self-belief triggers spring. It triggers you planting yourself into the physical dimension. Now you planting yourself into the physical dimension triggers your need to embody the 7th planet, which is self-support. So self-knowledge, self-belief, authenticity, self-support, which is you embodying the 7th planet. That is all self-support is. Now after self-support, you go to Gemini. That self-support will bring you information. Remember what Gemini is all about, information. This self-support will bring you information in May. Now the information you get in May, initiate harvest in June. The information you get in May, remember what May is all about. It's the arms, it's the Gemini energy. What is Gemini energy all about? Let me go back to remind you so that you know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. Now this is what Gemini energy is all about. Please, please, please. When we talk about Gemini energy, this is what Gemini energy is all about. Now look. I don't know whether it will be able to. This is what Gemini energy is all about. Information, transfer of information from infinite sources into the fertilization chamber. So after energy is transported into the fertilization chamber, which is the Gemini energy, your arms, then what are we preparing for? Harvest. So that's what we're talking about. What are we preparing for? Harvest. That's what we're talking about. Now hold that thought, and look at this particular image that I'm talking about here. Now look at this particular image that I'm talking about here. You are all in the great circle of life. It gives you access to infinite information or infinite. It gives you infinite access to yourself. Now infinite access to yourself empowers your authenticity, which is spring, which is your ability to plant yourself into the physical dimension. Now your ability to plant yourself into the physical dimension unlocks your ability to embody the 7th planet. Your ability to embody the 7th planet unlocks information. Information unlocks harvest, which is June. That is where we are. This is where the moment you start working with the 7th planet, you are going to get information about yourself. This information about yourself is going to be What is that self-love? Embodying self-expression. So after you harvest, that harvest will allow you to embody your self-expression, to be who you truly are. Who you truly are gives you daily transitions. Your relationship with yourself, your obligation to yourself, daily transitions. Who you are, which is your self-love, gives you self-analysis, which is your daily transitions. That's why you eat every day. You eat every day to empower your daily transition, which is your verbal energy. Your self-analysis is what enables you to be alive daily. And that comes from your ability to express yourself. Your ability to express yourself will tell you what to eat on a daily basis. Do no evil, accept no evil. What you consume, what you interact with. What you interact with will initiate distribution. What you interact with in your stomach will initiate distribution. What you interact with will initiate distribution. Now it is this distribution that gives you balance. It is distribution that gives you balance. The way you distribute meat in your body. Some people, they to put too much meat on their arms. They put too much meat on their stomach, too much meat somewhere else. They lose balance. If you want to stay balanced, then your distribution. What you harvest here, you harvest self-expression. This self-expression enables you to have daily transitions. Daily transitions enables you to distribute your energy. You distributing your energy brings you into embodying your sexuality. Now your ability to distribute is what will tell us how creative you are. Your creative energy is your sexual energy, your talent. So your ability to distribute energy is what will bring forth your talent, which is your Scorpio energy, which is your creative energy, your ability to create, your self-desire, your ability to bring things from the physical dimension, from the spiritual dimension into the physical dimension. And then your ability to bring things from the physical dimension into the spiritual dimension then goes back to what? Your Sagittarius energy, which is your generated world view. Your world view. Your ability to create will enable you to have world view. And then your world view will enable your renewal. You to be useful to yourself. You to be useful to yourself. So this is how energy travels from January to December. It starts from your role in the great circle of life, which is your self-knowledge. Are you a Sagittarius? Are you a Taurus? Are you a Cancer? Are you an Aquarius? What are you? You are self-knowledge. That self-knowledge brings you your infinite attachment to the infinite consciousness. That self-knowledge, your knowledge in the great circle of life brings you infinite transition. You transition into the infinite. After you transitioned into the infinite, you become authentic, enabling plantation. You plant, you enabling plantation gives you access to the 7 days, which is of self-support in April. In May, self-thinking. This 7 days self-support automatically generates information, self-thinking. That self-thinking generates harvest. That harvest generates self-love. That self-love generates self-analysis. That self-analysis generates self-balance. Self-balance generates self-desire. And self-desire generates self-adventure. And then restricting overexpansion, which is rest, which is usefulness to self. So now when you look at this particular 12 months of the year, you realize that we have opposites. But before I get even deeper into that, up to that point, do we have anybody who has a question? Up to that point, do we have anybody who has a question? So the month you were born is the first month. No. This is the first month for everybody. If you were born in September, you are a Libra. This is your month to know what a Libra should be doing. If you are a Pisces, this is your month to know what a Pisces should be doing here. If you are a Taurus, this is your month to know what a Taurus should be doing here. The moment you know that, it will give you infinite access, which is Pisces energy is infinite access. February. Now in March, you plant that infinite access. You become authentic. In April, you embody the 7 days. You make sure that the authenticity you understand here, you embody it 7 days a week in April. You embodying it 7 days a week in April will automatically give you information ready for fertilization. Fertilization happens at Gemini. Fertilization happens at the fallopian tube. It's the same thing. Fertilization happens at Gemini. And then you gain, you harvest self-feeling, which gives you self-love. Initiate harvest, you harvest, and then self-love, which is you embodying your self-expression. What you harvest here, now you express it here. And then daily transitions, that is self-analysis. What you harvest, you daily transition with it, daily. You make sure that daily you transition, you analyze it. Then it will enable you to distribute your energy properly. After you distribute your energy properly, your creative power will be seen. After your creative power is seen, you gain worldview. From that creative power, you gain your own worldview. And this worldview will enable you to use yourself, to be useful. And you being useful to yourself is what is considered resting. So I'm going to move again. This class is going to be a little bit longer than usual because there is a lot of nitty-gritties that I need to explain. So now I'm going to start another explanation. Now telling you the opposites of what happens in the month. So listen, I know I haven't talked about the month of June, but I'm going to be talking about it, but listen to this one first. So the first month, January is mirrored by July. So in January, you work on your relationship with impacting the collective consciousness. Your relationship with creativity. January, your relationship with creativity is tested. And January is the opposite of July. July is your relationship with creativity. Your relationship with creation. And then here is your relationship with impacting creation. So you loving yourself is your relationship with creation. And you knowing yourself is your relationship with impacting creation. So what you do in January, you do the opposite in July. What happens in January, the opposite happens in July. In January, you are tested. What is your relationship with impacting creation? What is impact do you have in the great circle of life? That is tested in January. While in July, what do they test? Now your relationship with creation itself, with creativity. How happy are you to be alive? That is what gets tested in July. And then we have February. In February, your relationship with serving others is tested. How good are you at serving others? How good are you at serving yourself? In February, you answer, how good are you at serving? How good are you at serving others? How good are you at serving others? How good are you at serving yourself? So self-belief is how good are you at serving others. Self-analysis is how good are you at serving yourself. In March, which is balanced by your relationship with outside world. So the first equinox is your relationship with yourself, the second equinox is your relationship with others. Your relationship within, your relationship outside with others. So even when you look at the things you release from your head and the things you release from your nyash, what you release from your head affect you. What you release from your nyash affect others. Now we go to April. April is your relationship with value of yourself. It is your self-support. It is balanced by Scorpio, which is your relationship with exchange of value. Your relationship with value of yourself, your relationship with how you are going to be exchanging yourself, your tourism. How you support yourself and how others support you. Your relationship with yourself and your relationship with outside. Your relationship with your own value, your own money. And then your relationship with how others give you money. So Taurus is your relationship with your own value. And then Scorpio is your relationship with exchange of value. Are you valuable? Are you supporting yourself to be valuable? Here you will ask, are you supporting yourself to be valuable? And then here you will be asked, are you valuable? And then after that we have Gemini energy, which is your relationship with basic comprehension. Your relationship with intellect, your relationship with thinking, communicating, and decision making. And then it is balanced by your relationship with Akashic records, Sagittarius. April is Taurus, your relationship with your value. Balanced by Scorpio, how valuable are you? Did you create your value at Taurus? If you did not create your value at Taurus, at Scorpio you will be ugly as fuck. Nobody will want to tourism in your land. If you don't support yourself here, you will be nobody will want you here. So if you want here to bloom, here must be supported. So here is your relationship with your own value. And then here is how valuable are you in the collective consciousness. Have you gotten it now? Hey, today this thing is hey, and why does it do that when I'm mbona nafanya hivyo nikiwa live baby? Ile siku nimekaa na wewe the whole day hapa. Huku umeniangalia tu hivi hata ukuzima. Leo unazima ni kama hebu nipeleke pole pole please. Fanya nikukombanishe hivi. Can I continue, Mama? You guys are lost. Can I continue, Mama? You guys are lost, please. Lazima tuongeleshe woye, unajua. Simuelewi kwa nini that day. What's up? You don't like it when I'm teaching? Ne? Please, stay with me. Somebody's saying we are lost. It's a bit confusing. What can you guys ask? What is confusing? I'm telling you the opposite. Aquarius is your self-knowledge balanced by your self-love. Let me start. Maybe you guys will get it when we are finishing. But I'm just going to continue. What do you call self? I'm just defining what I've been teaching. What do you guys call self-knowledge? Somebody's saying, how are they related? They balance each other. Without this does not exist. Without this does not exist. Without this does not exist. Without this. So if you don't harvest January, you don't have August. If you don't harvest February, you don't have, no wait. If you don't harvest January, you don't have July. If you don't harvest February, you don't have August. If you don't harvest March, you don't have September. If you don't harvest April, you don't have October. If you don't harvest May, you don't have November. If you don't harvest June, you don't have December. But if you harvest January, you don't have to worry about July. If you harvest February, you don't have to worry about August. If you harvest March, you don't have to worry about September. If you harvest October, you don't have to, April, you don't have to worry about October. If you harvest May, you don't have to worry about November. If you harvest June, you don't have to worry about December. That's what they have to do with each other. Without one, there is no the other. You cannot just wake up, you sleep in January and then you wake up in July thinking there's going to be something. No, you spoil January, you spoiled July. You spoil February, you spoiled August. You spoil March, you spoil September. Are you guys looking at the relationship? That's what I'm telling you. Aquarius is your relationship with impacting and interacting with the creation. What is self-knowledge to you guys? For example, Pam, what is your zodiac sign? I thought July is Cancer. Now, this is what I always talk about. Pam, you don't listen to me when I'm speaking. I always say January is Aquarius, February is Pisces, March is Aries. Have I ever said anything else? Because Pam, I know everything that I say in class. So you saying that I thought January was what? I know it is different from other astrologers and from what others teach. But I teach what I teach my own. And I usually make it very easy for my students. Even in my page I post. Please, don't be students who you're just here to frustrate me. Even on my page I've posted January weather forecast, February weather forecast. And as I explained January, I explained Aquarius. February, I explained Pisces. March, I explained Aries. Because I've always put them like this, because this is how they are. The firstborn of Aquarius is born in January. The firstborn of Pisces is born in February. The firstborn of Aries is born in March. The firstborn of Taurus is born in April. We go with the firstborn. The firstborn of Gemini is born in May. The firstborn of Cancer is born when? In June. The firstborn of Leo is born in July. The firstborn of August is born in the firstborn of Virgo is born in August. The firstborn of Libra is born in September. The firstborn of Scorpio is born in October. The firstborn of Sagittarius is born in November. The firstborn of Capricorn is born in December. We go with the firstborn. We go with the firstborns. We don't use lastborns to do astrology in my class. Some people use it, but us, we don't use it like that. The firstborns are the ones who dictate which month is who. And all firstborns of Aquarius are born in January. All firstborn of Pisces are born in February. So me, I don't use those other ones that are confusing. I use straight mathematics. So as I was saying, In January, sorry. In January, let me maybe move slowly because I'm talking about the entire. I don't want you guys to be confused because we are here. We are already moving into another hemisphere. We are here. We are about to get to move into another hemisphere to start a new reality. So that's why I want you to get the 12 months before. So listen, in January, relationship with impacting and interacting with creation and creativity is tested. That's what happens in January. What are you? What is your relationship with being here? What are you doing here? That's the answer you answer in January. That's the question you answer in January. And that's why we call January self-knowledge. Aquarius is self-knowledge. Now, if you don't harvest your relationship with the collective consciousness, if you don't figure out your role in the great circle of life, you will not be able to love yourself here. Because at Leo in July, we have relationship with creation. Relationship with creation, relationship with impacting creation. Relationship with creation, relationship with impacting creation. Self-love, self-knowledge. Self-knowledge is impacting creation. Self-love is relationship with creation. So in January, you have self-knowledge, which is impacting. What is self-knowledge? You know, when people tell me they don't comprehend, I want to ask you, what is self-knowledge to you? We've been talking about Aquarius self-knowledge, sex self-knowledge, sex self-knowledge. What is self-knowledge? Yes, and what is kujijua? Kujijua ni nini, unafanya nini hapa? And your job, honor, your role in the great circle of life is that role that starts when you're 24 years of age. From age 1 up to age 24, you are still dependent in Egypt. You're still dependent on your parents. Now after you reach the age of 24 and above, now the world is starting to ask you, ulikuja hapa kufanya nini? Ni nini unafanya hapa wewe? That is the question you start answering by the time you're 24 years of age. And what that question is the Aquarius question. What is your role in the great circle of life? And your role in the great circle of life is not the role that you have towards your mother, towards your father, towards your children. Your role in the great circle of life is, what is your zodiac sign? Are you an Aquarius? You are here to help people know themselves. You are here to help people know themselves. Here to help the collective consciousness think, communicate, and make decisions by themselves. Are you a Libra? You are here to help the world balance itself by distributing energy properly, and so on and so forth. That is what self-knowledge is about. Self-knowledge is, out of the 12 gods, which one are you? Yes, what do you have to offer? That is what self-knowledge is. And if you can't answer that question in January, you will hate yourself in July. You will not have anything in July. It is your obligation that you fulfill towards the collective consciousness that gives you self-love. If you have no obligation to fulfill towards the collective consciousness, you will have no self-love. By July, you will have nothing to love yourself above. So that's why they balance each other. They are opposite. Polar opposites, they have everything to do with each other. Now we go to February, balance with Virgo there. Pisces, balance with Virgo. Now before I even go to February, let's just finish this and this. Self-love and self-knowledge. In fact, I don't even think I want to give you guys this point. I don't think, if I add this point, I feel like I'm going to confuse you guys, because you guys are already confused. So I'm going to reduce what I needed to tell you guys today. Let me just keep it simple, because this one, if I add, I'm seeing you guys are going to be very confused. So let me just, we will repeat this class again with full details, but let me just keep this one away. The point that I wanted to keep away was to tell you now, when it is Aquarius, how much, oh no, this is chemistry. This is chemistry. When it comes to self-knowledge, there's an amount of intuition, an amount of memory that you need to be adding to each and every zodiac. So because Stephanie is saying, let me just say. So when it comes to self-knowledge, memory is more than intuition in self-knowledge. Memory comes more than intuition in self-knowledge. Memory, which is the sun, meaning when it comes to self-knowledge, you're supposed to rely on your memory more than you rely on your intuition. That's the point I wanted to leave. Now, when it comes to when it comes to the opposite, which is self-love, you're supposed to rely on your intuition more than your memory. When it comes to self-knowledge, more memory, less intuition. More memory, less intuition. Intuition is there, but less. When it comes to self-love, more intuition, less memory. When it comes to self-love, more intuition, less memory. Let's go to the number 2. Pisces, February. Relationship with serving others, relationship with sacrificing yourself. January, test your relationship with impacting the collective consciousness. February, test your relationship with serving the collective consciousness. Your self-belief. Your self-belief tests your ability to serve others. While your self-analysis, the opposite, tests your ability to serve yourself. February tests your ability to serve others. August tests your ability to serve yourself. Your ability to serve others requires more memory, less intuition. Just like here, more memory, less intuition. More memory, less intuition. The sun, which is memory declining for intuition. To take over the equinox. So here memory is a little bit declining, but it is still more than intuition. But it is preparing to decline so that intuition can take over. So at self-knowledge, memory is more than intuition. Without a doubt, memory is more than intuition. More memory, but intuition also is starting to rise. And then at Pisces, intuition is even rising more, but memory is still more. So your self-belief, memory is still more, but your intuition is rising. Memory is still more, but your intuition is rising. Now when you look at the opposite, intuition is more. At Virgo, moon, which is intuition, is more, but it is declining for the sun to take over. So look at, intuition is declining here for the sun to take over, while memory is declining here for intuition to take over. So now your self-belief, more memory, less intuition. That's what I want you to get mostly. So let me keep it there. Your self-belief, more memory, less intuition. Your self-analysis, more intuition, less memory. Your relationship with serving others requires you to have more memory and less intuition. Your relationship with serving yourself requires you to have more intuition and less memory. Capture it, please. It will help you. It will help you a lot. Oh, it will help you a lot. Now we move into March. March is balanced by September. So let me just come back here. If you don't work this particular energy of you serving others here in February, then you serving yourself will be an issue in August. If you're not careful with how you serve others here, you serving yourself will be an issue. If you are too much of an empath, you will receive a lot of narcissists and you'll be victimized. If you're too much of a narcissist, you will receive a lot of backlash or you'll have a lot of empaths to destroy, which means nature will not be happy with you. So just serving others what they deserve, and then will help you to analyze yourself when it comes to doing evil and accepting evil. Now Aries is balanced by Libra. So your authenticity, which is your relationship with yourself, what happens within you. Remember, they are associated with each other. Your self-knowledge, which is you are all in the great circle of life, is what, and they serve others the way they are supposed to be served. Your relationship with the great circle of life enables you to serve others the way they are supposed to be served. Meaning, if you are an Aquarius, you will know who to help know themselves. You will know who to adjust proximity to and stuff like that. So this gives you infinite access on how to deal with the collective consciousness. And then after that, it will give you your authenticity. How you serve others will now give you your authenticity, which is your relationship with yourself. What goes on within you. And what goes on within you is balanced by what? What goes on outside of you, your relationship with outside. So your head is your relationship with yourself. Your first card is dictated by your relationship with yourself. While your nyash, the size of your nyash, the shape of your nyash is dictated by your relationship with other people, how you interact with the outside world. So now here, how much memory and how much intuition do you need here? Here, intuition and memory are equal. Intuition and memory are equal. Intuition and memory are equal when it comes to your relationship within yourself. And intuition and memory are equal. That's why we call it equinox. Equal day and equal night. We call these equinox because it is equal day and equal night. Equal intuition and equal memory. So here, intuition and memory are equal. As the sun intuition and memory are equal, but the sun is a little bit weaker and the moon is stronger. Sun is weaker, the moon is stronger, but intuition and memory, they are equal. The moon is preparing to take power here, but sun and moon are equal. Now when you jump up, the sun and moon are equal, but the sun is more powerful than the moon here. So when it comes to you, your relationship with outside environment, your memory should be more than your intuition. When it comes to your relationship with your outside environment, your memory should be more than your intuition. Never say, I can change it. Never say, but maybe they will change sometime. What you see is what you get when it comes to your relationship with outside. Because the sun here is more. The sun here is stronger. It is planning to overpower the moon. While the moon here is stronger, it's planning to overpower the sun. So here you trust memory more, here you trust intuition more, but know that they are all, intuition and memory are equal when it comes to your authenticity. They collaborate equally. So what do we mean by intuition and memory collaborating equally? This is why we are always saying, be authentic. How do you become authentic? Let your intuition and memory work equally. But intuition is stronger because it is planning to take over. So that's how authenticity works. What is authenticity? Your relationship within yourself. Then we have your relationship with other people in September. So if you don't cultivate your relationship within yourself in March, your relationship with other people is going to be fucked up in September. But if you cultivate a good relationship with yourself in March, your relationship with other people is going to be you can even predict it already. If you know you passed in Aries, prepare to excel in September. If you know you performed well in March, prepare to excel in September. And then This authenticity that you get from here is what you plant in the 7 days. Every 7 days. Taurus is all about the 7 days. The neck. The neck has 7 bones. That is what Taurus is all about. 7 days support. The authenticity you get here, you plant it here 7 days a week. You support yourself. And so what is Taurus? Your relationship with value of yourself. Your relationship with value. The more authenticity you harvest here, the more you plant it every 7 days, every 7 days a week. 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. Then the more you harvest, the more self-value you harvest in April. But if the authenticity you got here, you are only planting it, okay, you plant a little bit on Monday, and then you skip until next week on Tuesday, and then you skip until 3 weeks on Friday, then you will be harvesting nonsense here. But when you're persistent, every day you're authentic, every day you're authentic, then when it comes to Scorpio energy, which is now your relationship with value exchange, with exchange of value, your relationship with tourism is what Scorpio is all about. So if you don't plant this authenticity here in April consistently, then your value, your tourism will go down in October. If you plant your authenticity here consistently, then your tourism value will go up. Remember, Scorpio energy is all about sexuality exchange. People want to exchange with people who are tourism attraction centers. Are you a tourism attraction center? What makes you a tourism attraction center is Taurus energy that translates into Scorpio energy. If you have 0, nobody will want to fuck you. Let's just tell people the truth. If you want to have a lot of people that are wanting to get in your pants, this is where you get that energy. If you want nobody getting in your pants, you are a tourist center whose gates are closed always. Nobody's knocking. Nobody is knocking. If you want nobody to knock on October, then plant nothing in April. But if you want a lot of people knocking, then plant a lot in April. Now we move to Gemini. When you plant 7 days a week, what brings every 7 days a week you plant? Every 7 days a week you plant. What you will harvest is information about yourself. In May, you will harvest information about yourself. When you plant here, on Sunday you plant for the sun, Monday you plant for the moon, Tuesday you plant for Mars, Wednesday you plant for Mercury, Thursday you plant for Jupiter, Friday you plant for Venus, Saturday you plant for Saturn. Then you are going to harvest information in May. In May, you will get information about yourself. What is the beauty about getting information about yourself? You think for yourself. Now, Gemini is represented by the arms, the fallopian tube. It is a passage. It is a place where fertilization occurs. So here you will think for yourself, and remember, from you thinking for yourself is when you take action. So here you will think for yourself. After you've supported yourself here, you'll get to Gemini, where the relationship with basic comprehension is tested. Your relationship with thinking, your relationship with communicating and decision making is tested. Now, I move from Taurus without telling you the amount of intuition and memory that is required. Now, in Taurus, intuition is more than memory. In supporting yourself, intuition is more than memory. Here, the moon is stronger than the sun. The moon is stronger than the sun. When you're supporting yourself, intuition is more than memory. Are you listening to me? Some people are scared of supporting themselves because they want to get all from memory. Self-support is empowered by more intuition, less memory. When you cross over to the other side, your tourism, your ability to be attractive, your ability to be wanted, your ability to be valuable, your ability to be exchangeable. has more memory than intuition. So here, more memory than intuition, here more intuition than memory. Your ability to self-desire, your ability to be exchangeable is reliant on more memory, less intuition. More intuition, less memory. So please, keep count of people. Don't just, when it comes to your self-desire and the people you fuck, don't just be like, hey. Don't just be like, going to be valuable, then you have to rely on memory more than intuition. You have to remember more than intuition. You have to remember what you like more than just being intuitive about it. Now, when it comes to your self-support, be more intuitive. More than you are memory. Like Sagittarius, which is Akashic records, higher knowledge, adventure, research and exploration. So if you don't think for yourself, you won't have the Akashic records. You won't access the Akashic records. Sagittarius is all about the Akashic records, the explored, the hidden knowledge, the wisdom. So if you think for yourself in May, then November is going to have a lot of Akashic record revelation. Now here, thinking for yourself, intuition is stronger than memory. Intuition is stronger in Gemini than memory is stronger in Sagittarius than intuition. Self-explanatory. You can even see the sun here is stronger than the moon. The moon here is stronger than the sun. So you can even see from the movement of the sun, you can see up, the sun is stronger, the moon is weaker, down, the moon is stronger, the sun is weaker. Now we come to Cancer. You getting information, remember you supported yourself here 7 days a week. You accessed information, which is you thinking for yourself. Remember, you supporting yourself is what lifts you to frequency where thoughts access you. So you supporting yourself here will lift you into frequency where thoughts will access you. After these thoughts access you, fertilization will occur and you will have harvest. So this is where we are currently as a collective. As a collective in the wheel of time, this is where we are. Harvest. What are you harvesting? Self-thinking. Now, harvest, which is Cancer, is balanced by Capricorn. So Cancer is your relationship with privacy. Your relationship with privacy. And then here is your relationship with publicity. Your relationship with being perceived. Your relationship with being perceived, your relationship with being useful, and then here is your relationship with being private, being alone. At alone is where you harvest. Things grow when you're alone. Being alone is when you harvest. So here the moon is stronger than the sun. Intuition is stronger than memory, of course, And because it is the tropic, it is towards the very farthest. So intuition here is strongest than memory. In the day it is opposite. But in the year here, the intuition is the strongest than memory. You being alone is strongest. When I say intuition is strongest, you being alone is strongest than you being outside. Now, when it comes to the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, there's a lot of enigma around it. Why? Because people from the southern pole and people from the northern pole, they experience these things differently. It's almost like they experience it on an opposite. For example, people on the southern pole, for example, people from the winter lands, the barren lands of winter, at this particular point, they experience the sun the most, meaning they are outside the most. And here they experience winter. So now, this makes them to be outside, to experience publicity the most. It's almost like they are opposite of what Africans experience. Africans here, this is the time to be alone. Even the environment is going to show you this is the time when you go back to your authenticity, to your intuition the most. Because this is the time of the year where in Africa, intuition is strongest than memory.
Watching your videos?
Do we focus on our birth month or every month? You are focused on everything, guys. Remember, I'm saying the day is the same as the body and the same as the year. Your body is also made up of 12 cells. So you focus on everything. You don't just focus. Divide and rule was a colonial thing where they wanted everybody only Aquarius to only focus on Aquarius. Scorpio to only focus. That's a divide and rule thing. Everyone is supposed to be focusing on everything. So when it comes to tropical Cancer and tropical Capricorn, this is an explanation that we will do more. But what I want Africans who are watching me here to comprehend is, after Gemini energy, be alone. This is the time to embrace solace because it tests your relationship with yourself. This particular point, test your relationship with yourself. While this one tests your relationship with the outside environment. Africans interact with Cancer differently than Europeans. Europeans interact with Capricorn differently than Africans, and that is something that we will get into as we go. But for now, just know that is how it is. We are not the same. We don't react to these particular things. There are things we react to differently. Africans react to Libra differently than Europeans, and Africans react to Aries differently than Europeans. So these four zodiacs, these initiators, Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, and Aries, different hemisphere react to them differently because polar opposites. That's why you find Africans, they even have more nyash compared to Europeans because of how they react to this particular Libra area. Now, being alone brings you harvests. Being in public brings you ability to restrict over expansion. I'll even explain. Even right now in our society, when you're alone in your house, you will not spend more. When you keep being alone in your house, you will not spend unnecessary money. But the moment you keep being outside around people, you'll spend. So that's what this is talking about. This being alone, it literally infinitely brings more abundance. And being outside yourself brings a lot of poverty because even if you do not want to spend, you'll find yourself spending when you're around people. So now, we move to Virgo, to Leo, I mean. Now this being alone will bring you a lot of abundance, which is you now loving yourself, which is your relationship with creation. The creation within, without, that self-love. Balanced by your relationship with impacting that creation. Your relationship with your cat. Your relationship with impacting your cat. Your relationship with your cat, just like that. And then your relationship with impacting your cat. Your relationship with living life. Your relationship with leaving an impact behind. And then that relationship with living with the creation brings you analysis. And then self-balance. So I think I've covered it all around for you to just see how they are related to each other. We are completing an entire term, and this particular term that is remaining will depend on what you harvested from here. What you harvested down here is going to determine what you're going to be achieving up here. Yes. So, let me just pass through it again for the last time for the people who are confused, because I'm feeling like there's a lot of confusion from certain people, but don't worry. So, I've told you how the 12 hours, the 12 months move. They move from January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So now how does the day move? The day moves from when the sun rising. The sun now rises here. So compare and contrast.
Eggs, no nothing.
This is where the sun rises.
What do you guys want?
At the heart. So when the sun rises, it is calling for you to embody self-expression. When the sun rises, it is calling for you. Now let me just hold it with my hand like this so that this laptop of mine doesn't go. Can you guys see this? Can you see this? On this number one? I'm going to be moving with this now. So when the sun rises, when the sun is rising, it is calling you to embody self-expression. You should write that on your watch. And then the sun rises at 1, which is 7 a.m. 8 a.m. The sun calls you to generate daily transitions. So let me just go so that I tell you how the entire day goes. I've told you how the year goes. Now let me tell you how the entire day goes. And I'm just going to be reading it. So follow this hand that I'm working with here, and you're going to see how the entire day goes up to 24 hours, because I'm going to be reading. I'm reading it. So hour 1 of the day, embody self-expression. Hour 2 of the day, generate daily transitions. Hour 3 of the day, initiate storage and distribution. I'll start. I'll go 3 until I finish. Hour 1, embody self-expression at 7 a.m. in the morning. At 8 a.m. in the morning, generate daily transitions. At 9 a.m. in the morning, initiate storage and distribution of your energy. At 10 a.m. in the morning, embody your sexuality, which is embody the things that make you a tourist. So this is the best time to even do your makeup and all that. Now at hour 5, generate different world views. Expand. At hour 5, generate different world views. Adventure and explore. Generate different world views. And then at noon, initiate renewal, rest. Afternoon, hour 1 afternoon, embody personal role in the circle of life. Hour 1 in the afternoon, embody your personal role in the great cycle of life. Hour 2 in the afternoon, generate infinite. Generate your infinite self. Hour 2 in the afternoon, generate your infinite self. Hour 3 in the afternoon, that is 3 p.m. in the evening. In the afternoon, I mean. Initiate spring. Initiate planting. This is where your new day should be starting. The same way a new day starts. Is the same night should start here. This is why you should be initiating what will I be doing tomorrow? At this time is where you should be starting. At 3 p.m. is when you should be starting to worry about to organize what you should be doing tomorrow. At 4 p.m., embody the 7 planets. Organize. The 7 planets is just an organization, a tunnel of how to achieve. What you will be doing tomorrow, you will plan it. How will you achieve it? You will plan that at 4 p.m. At 5 p.m., now generate information. After you've found out how you'll achieve what you planned here, generate new information, make decision here, and then initiate the harvest. Initiate harvesting what you plan. So plan that, okay, tomorrow this is what I'm going to be doing. Tomorrow this is what I'm going to be doing. So that by that time the day is over. By that time the day is over. Now we are entering the night. Hour 1 of the night, what are you being called to do? Embody personal role in the great cycle of life. Hour 1 at night. Hour 2 at night. Generate the infinite. Embody yourself. At hour 1 at night is when you are being asked, embody your role in the great circle of life. Hour 2, because you embodied your role in the great circle of life, you're generating the infinite. Hour 3, you are planting that infinite that you generated, which is the spring.
Right.
Hour 4 in the night, you embody the 7 planets. Hour 5 in the night, you embodying the 7 planets will naturally generate information for you, which will initiate harvest for you. And then, this is midnight. Now, after midnight, you embody self-expression naturally. And then, these are happening when you're asleep, by the way. This happens when wherever you are aware or not. Whatever happens on this side, it is automatic. Whatever is happening on this side is automatic. What is happening on this side is your willingness. This side is automatic. Now, the first hour after midnight, embody self-expression. The second hour after midnight, generate daily transitions. The third hour, so this is what you will be doing during the day. What happens here is what you're going to be doing during the day here. So now, hour 1 after midnight, embody self-expression. Hour 2 after midnight, generate daily transition. Hour 3 after midnight, initiate storage and distribution. Initiating storage and distribution is what births. You get born from the nyash, from your pelvic area. Initiating storage and distribution enables you to embody your attractiveness, your sexuality, your tourism characters. And then, after you embody your tourism characters, at 5 a.m. in the morning, you generate different worldviews from you embodying your tourism. The moment you embody your tourism characteristics, your sexuality, you will automatically generate new worldviews because your sexuality is your creative energy. So it's either you will have sex here or you will create something. When you create something, you'll have a different worldview at Sagittarius. And then when you have a different worldview at Sagittarius, you finally initiate renewal at Capricorn in the morning, and then that renewal will birth Leo again in the morning, which is now again embodying self-expression, generating daily transitions, initiating storage and distribution, embodying sexuality, and so on and so forth. Oh my God, I lost all my notes. Where jamani? So for Africans in the white lands, will it be affected? Africans have junk DNA that is alive. So it doesn't matter where they are. They will always react to things the way they're supposed to. White people, on the other hand, have junk DNA that is not empty. That is empty. You know, I always keep saying writings on the walls, the writings on the walls. Black people have natural writings on the walls. Melanin is writings on the walls. White people have no writings on the walls. So black people, it doesn't matter where they go, their writings stay on the walls. White people is the problem. They're the ones who cannot survive properly where black people are. But black people can survive well where white people are. But those are things we will get into as we get deeper into these things, to know our differences and what makes us good and bad. But up to that particular point, guys, I hope that this class, even though it might be so difficult for certain people, but life is like a laboratory. You have to know what you're working with. And even though some of you might find this difficult to comprehend, I hope you can see what you're working with. I hope you can see what you're working with. Because this is all it is, and the work is very easy. When you do the work here, when you do the work here, let me just start it properly. When you do, because this is where it all starts. When you do the work here, you don't need to do the work here. When you do the work here, you don't need to do the work here. When you do the work here, you don't need to do the work here. Now here, ancestors do the work for you, and then you do the work here. And then you do the work here, and then ancestors do the work for you here. So this one is running infinitely, whether you are aware of it or not. This one is constantly running, whether you are aware of it or not, and it is shifting according to your behavior. But this, you control. This is running on its own, this you control. To that point, guys, are we together? I just wanted to bring this because I talked about it. I talked about it before. I told you how 1, your heart loves you, our 2, your stomach analyzes you, our 3, but I did not tell you how these are opposites, because when it starts here, it gets reflected here, and then it starts here, gets reflected here, starts here, gets reflected here, goes on, starts here, gets reflected here, goes on, starts here, gets reflected, goes on, starts here. So that's how it is. How do we use hours of the day according to week placements? So this is how you use the hours of the day according to week placements. Even though I already said it before. The sun is set in Leo. Every day in the morning, if you're somebody who this hour you are still asleep, you are missing out on loving yourself. You get Sunday energy here and here every day. Monday energy, you get it here and here every day. Tuesday energy, you get it here and here every day. Wednesday energy, you get it here. Wednesday energy is a lot. Wednesday energy, you get it at Gemini, at Virgo, at Gemini, at Virgo. Thursday energy, you get it at Sagittarius, at Sagittarius. Friday energy, you get it at Libra and Taurus. Again at night, Libra and Taurus. And then Saturday energy, you get it at Capricorn, at Capricorn. 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 Stop. It's too hot. Wake up. Stop, it's too hot. That's where the Saturn energy is. If you don't restrict your expansion here, you will sleep for infinity. If you don't restrict your expansion here, the sun will be too hot to survive. So, those are the energies. Can you see it?
The 29th?
Yes, putting theory into practice, exactly. Where do we go when we within? Where do we go at night? Within. Where do we go during the day? Without. During the day we are without. Swimming with outside. During at night is swimming with inside. 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 Where masses came from. Then outside you go outside where everybody now is.
Well, I imagine we'll be here for our anniversary anyway.
Anything else, guys? Should I now get into the Zabur? I know this is frying, it is frying the brains of others, but guys, don't worry. This is my first time introducing this. Next time, I'll probably bring it in a way that I'll do demonstrative. I'll try my best to have you guys comprehend what I teach. I'll try my best. So the people who don't comprehend it so well, at least tell me there's one person who comprehends. At least. At least there's people who comprehend it, ne? Thank you. Next time, Zaburi. Okay. Okay. We can do Zaburi next time. Also, guys, I told you, it's slowly, or let's take each other slowly. But are you ready to walk? And guys, I promise you, with my hands held high, in heka position, follow this and you will never regret. The thoughts are already waiting for you inside these boxes. This hour is carrying this. This hour is carrying this. This hour is carrying this. This hour, all of it. And it is all this that make the year again. And it is all this that make your body again. So you see that life is easy and simple. I miss you guys as well, but my electricity, I don't know what's wrong, but guys, let's just, when you don't see me, just know that there's a reason, a valid reason why I'm not around. I like coming as well to teach. I love it so much. When I know I'm not going to come, it pains me. But most of the time I can't ignore. So just forgive me, and as long as tomorrow is infinite, we will always keep showing up.
Or just do it.
You're talking about the vacation.
Yes, it's that's the infinity sign, my love. Yes. Yes, every time 7 p.m. So, mko chonjo na hii, si ndio? Use it all. Beautiful things that Europe. This is a thing that Europeans hide. They've coded it in a way that when they teach it themselves, you can never get it. And they wanted it to be like that. Because they wanted to seclude Africans from this information so that we can compete blindfolded. Imagine Europeans are only happy when they're competing against blindfolded Africans. But then Africans ni wajanja aje. Blindfold wapi? Tulitoa kitambo. So these things, they will make you compete globally. This thing will make you compete against Beyonce and win. It will make you compete against any. If you have this information, fear nobody. We are all here gods trying to collaborate to build a better world. Should bow to no man.
What are you thinking about in regards to that?
As long as you remember, you reap what you sow. 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 You reap. So throughout the entire year, what are we supposed to be doing? Just know yourself, believe in yourself, be authentic, support yourself, think for yourself, feel yourself. Do that, all of it will fall into place. The person who created us made the formula so cheap and simple. Formula so cheap and simple. But religion complicates it. As long as you're following this, I don't care if you're a thief. I will trust your process. As long as you go by, you obey your inner authority, I don't care if you're a murderer. I trust your process. Because I don't know which cards you're being dealt. That's one thing spirituality will always teach you. You don't know which card somebody is being dealt. Because this shit is deep, bro. And you don't know which cards people are being dealt. So you cannot just look at people through the lenses of the day. You don't know what is going on here. So you should always just watch out for yourself. Resist things that go against your essence. And then leave everybody alone. Oh. But that doesn't mean that you just sit also. Remember, you're also taking care of the collective consciousness. So be willing to debate, be willing to argue, be willing to support your essence no matter what. But then let other people also be. The sky is big enough to accommodate all clouds. The planet is big enough to accommodate all of us. And let me tell you one thing. As long as somebody is listening to their inner authority, they are your friend. If you are also listening to your inner authority. Even if that person is walking around with a gun, shooting. Those they are shooting is good. Why? Because anybody that listens to their inner authority is doing what the planet requires them to do. Even if you watching it from the outside, you feel like, aye. If you cannot comprehend it, just give it time. But anybody that listens to their inner authority is on the side of nature. Even if they are white, black, red, blue. As long as they listen to their inner authority, nature is using them. So you as an individual, I always tell you, pray, manifest. In fact, don't pray. Manifest that your ancestors show you the ones that the universe is working with. That's always I manifest that all the time. May I always be shown. May I never touch the ones that the universe is working with. May my ancestors always hint to me that this one the universe is working with, this one the universe is working with. Because anybody that the universe is working with, even if they are not on your side today, they will be on your side tomorrow. So allow them. That's why magombano wagombanao ndio wapate nao. Don't take things too seriously. Just do your role and make sure that you are alive. Make sure that you stay alive every 7 days a week. Meaning, make sure that you're eating. Enabling transition. This is what enables daily transition. If you don't engage in this, daily transition will not occur. This one enables infinite transitions. So every hour represents a sign. 2 p.m. self-analysis. Where's 2 p.m.? No, babe. Babe, listen. Are you African? Guys, are you guys not Africans? Because this thing will confuse you if you're not using the African time. I've written this in African time. This is African time. Africans, when they say in Samoja, it is 1. When they wake up, it is 1. In Europe, when they wake up, it is 7. Africa, when they wake up, it is 1 in the morning. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that time that you're talking about is here. 2 p.m. is Pisces. That's Sanane. I'm American. Americans, that's the reason why you will not comprehend this so easily. And hey, you know that British time that has been put in every city clock, it messed up with so many people. It's not going to be easy to get the Americans into this because of that British time that they place everywhere. But I hope there is an American who is trying to get what I'm talking about, because I've written this in African time. And African time is the infinite time. This is the correct way to write it. Europeans will write this with 7 here instead of 7 here. African time will 1 when the sun is rising, 6 when it is at noon, when the sun is setting, when the sun is completely set. Yes, that's why you are confused, Sapphire, and it confuses people. People outside of Africa, they messed your time. And getting this into your system is not going to be easy, but I'll try. Even in Nigeria, you don't use African time. Comprehending astrology without African time as an African is going to fuck you up, man. Hey, this one is going to mess you up, because the way the time. Only those who go by African time hold on to the real astrology. Anybody that goes with the time that was changed, hey, I'll show you what I mean. Some people don't even know what I mean, but I'll show you what I mean. Hawaongei Kiswahili even lugha ya mama. Nigeria, how do you read time? In Nigeria, I wonder how Nigerians read time in Nigeria. Is there an African country that doesn't read time like Africans? I'm not saying reading time in English. Reading time the African way, that is the way of astrology. Astrology will hit you easily when you read time the African way. Astrology will not hit you easily when you don't read time the African way. And Africans who know how to read time the African way, please teach you. I don't know how we will teach the Americans, or because we don't even live there, we don't know. It will take time. It will take time to make this adjustment. Yeah, there's the lovely who knows. When the sun is rising, that's 1. That's the vibration of 1. Divine masculine. Leo is a divine masculine. When the sun is at noon, That's Capricorn energy, which is 6. It's a reflective energy. And the sun is setting, that's 12, the number of completion. But now in Europe, you have 7 here, you have 12 here, here you have 3, here you have 6. It's opposite. Here you have 6 is opposite, so now it cannot go this way. It will not go this way if you use the European time. And this is why I respect China so much. In China, they go, the entire country, they use the same timeline. Just to keep each other, just to maintain that herd immunity. Chinese with herd immunity is insane. All of them are in the same timeline. You see, like in Africa, where South Africa is 1 hour behind, Nigeria is 2 hours behind. In China, there's nothing like that. All of you, whether you are in Nigeria 2 hours behind and you are in South Africa 1 hour behind, in China, when it is 3, it is 3 for everybody. Even if when that 3, the sun is rising for you, and in that 3, the sun is setting for somebody else. In China, when it is 3, it's 3 for everybody. But then with the rest of the world, we are so separated, so disintegrated, that, and especially Africans in America are the most affected with time. And this time affects even African Americans spiritually, by the way. You don't know how deep it goes. African Americans are supposed to be some of the most enlightened versions of Africans on the planet, but they are not. They are the most enlightened versions of Africans, but they're not rooted. And then we have Africans who are rooted, but not enlightened. So there's that bridge between African Americans and Africans, and it's because of the timing between us. So you guys are enlightened there, but you are not rooted. And as we are rooted here, but we are cut off from enlightenment. You are given enlightenment, but you're cut off from rooting. So we are 2 pieces that are both useless unless we unite. And I hope that one day we will do that, because we will be stronger that way. And the reason why African Americans are not rooted is because of the maps upside down, changing of timeline. The changes that were made were totally made to uproot the Southern Africa and also the Africans that went into the diaspora. Yeah, so guys, I think that brings me into my today's talk. And as I leave, I just want to go back to this thing again. Because I feel like this is the next thing that we're going to be talking about and focusing on more is going to be this. Stop embarrassing me, babe. What the fuck? For me, this is a campaign that I will always do. So look, this map of ours, guys. So the white man brought their people from these places. Here, this is where Gaza is. The war in Gaza is here. And then we have some people calling themselves Africans here. So these people in Gaza, they have a long-term role. Their long-term role is to occupy the Nile. The Nile starts from somewhere here, I think it's here, all the way up here. So Israel plans to occupy the entire Middle East and the entire Nile area. And then the Africans plan to long-term occupy the entire Southern Africa area. So if Africans continue the way we are continuing, then in the next 25 years, we're going to be remaining with only this place as Africa. But remember, there's a desert here. So there's Africans that are pushing Bantus to move from here down the equator. And then there is Israelites that are pushing Bantus to move again. Nilotes, I mean. The Israelis are here to push Nilotes to move. And the Africans, they're here to push Bantus to move. So they are attacking Africa from up and down. And if Africans are not careful, they're going to be remaining with only this particular area as Africa, as the only place to occupy by black people. If we don't campaign against the lies, if we don't campaign against the maps, against the inaccuracy of European information in Google and everywhere else, come to Africa in 25 years, you're going to find that this is the only place that we have. But that will obviously not happen. That will obviously not happen. But that is the plan of the white man to occupy. They've already occupied here. And they've already occupied here. So this is the only place that is remaining for them to occupy. They've colonized here, they've colonized here, and they've colonized the Antarctica. So now it's just Africa, of which they've started already. They're occupying it. The plan is to erase Africans. The plan has always been to erase Africans. And if Africans stay gullible, then Europe is going to move and occupy Sahel region. Africans are going to move and occupy the upper South African region. And you'll be remaining with nothing. But thanks to Mau Mau of Kenya, that particular movement will not work because Mau Mau already disrupted it, and because of Kenyans also. Kenyans have a reputation with the CIA, with the FBI, with a reputation of, quarreling. And Europeans are scared of the quarrels of Kenyans. So if Kenyans would support South Africans against the Africans, at heart, you don't need to do it physically, you can do it in your heart, then you will be saving the entire African continent from occupation. If Kenyans have to support Palestine and South Africa, because out of all countries, let me just tell you the truth, even though your Burkina Faso is, busy retaliating and blah, 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 it is their government and their military that is retaliating, not the citizens. While we have a country here that is very interesting, that has citizens are more powerful. And there's no country right now in Africa whose citizens are as vocal as Kenyans. So please, Kenyan spirit, I'm talking to you. May you be used by our ancestors to protect this particular continent. The same way you are used to destroy it. Thank you very much. So otherwise, guys, that is the thing that I wanted to talk to you guys mostly about. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything else that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Just be aware of what happens. Yeah, two sides of the same coin. So yeah, do your job here. The job that brought you here, do it. Stop criticizing other people for what they are not doing. You do the job that brought you here. As an Aquarius, my job is to help you know yourself. I help the world to know itself. That's what I do. Because when you know yourself, you love yourself. So as an Aquarius, I'm giving you both this and this energy. As a Pisces, you will be giving both this and this energy. Anybody who believes in themselves will analyze themselves properly. Anybody who is authentic will be balanced. Anybody who supports themselves will be attractive. Anybody who thinks for themselves will adventure. And anybody who feels will be useful. So just know your role. Know your role. Know your role and know that there is nothing like focusing on just one zodiac sign, that I'm a Pisces, so just Pisces. No. That's the most nonsensical thing you can ever do. You have to know everybody here. Before you know yourself, you have to know the world in which you live in. Before you know your body, you have to know the parts that make it. So that's what it's all about. So guys, unless you guys have questions, I said I wanted to do Zaburi today, but somebody told me next time. I'll take that, of course. We do Zaburi next time. Teacher, what does it mean if a country is rising out of the ocean? Hey, that's a question that requires. Anyway, let me tell you. I'll answer you very generally, and I'll try to get that map back. Just to explain to you where we come from. Of which this is something that I did not plan to teach today, but because you've asked it. Bitch, but why? Because you've asked it, let me answer. So I'll just go back to the map, just where we are. Which one should I demonstrate it with? Let me demonstrate with this one, because this is the one you're used to. No drama, no baby mama's keeping it cute. Okay. I don't. You don't like me. So this is the world. So what this I'm just explaining it shallowly for now. I'm usually talking to you about, in the beginning was a tomb self-created into Shu and Tefnut. Shu and Tefnut gave birth to Nut and Geb. It starts here. The entire world was covered in water in the beginning. So that's what the Kemetic books say. That the entire world was all noon, nothing. It was nothingness. It was all water. Atum is like water. Atum is like a water deity, and I think I've explained this for it's like water. Water is like the mother of everything. So the entire world was covered in water. And then as the entire world was covered in water, water started draining. Water started evaporating. As the water evaporated, the sea levels reduced. I don't know whether those are the correct terms. I did not study geography. The sea levels reduced. I studied it, but not expansively. As the sea levels were reducing, meaning the water levels on the planet, in the beginning, the planet, all this was water, all of it. Right now, we only have water in some places. But in the beginning, it was all noon. It was all water. And then, as the water was evaporating, what was revealed first? What was revealed first were the mountains. This is what the Bantus, we talk about Bantus being the mothers. So what was revealed first was the highest, when water is draining, even put water inside a basin, and then put some stones, and then start pouring, draining that water. You'll realize that the top of the stone is what will be revealed first, as water is draining, and then, later on they will reveal the bottom of the stone. So that is the situation with our planet as well. It was water. As the water started draining, it started revealing the highest points of Earth. And those highest points of Earth were the first places of human ancestors. Obviously, self-explanatory. So somebody is asking, what happens when the water is draining? It is revealing more life. Because that is how our planet started being formed. Now when you ask in the entire world, which country in the entire world is at the highest level above the sea level, which is the most elevated country in the world. That is called the country in the sky. Does anybody know that country? Because that was the first country to be revealed when the water was draining off of the planet. And this is the reason why, the places that were left, that were revealed first, the places, Wanjuku, that is wrong. The places that were revealed first were the places that are highest, the most mountainous place, the Bantula. Those are the places that were revealed first. And so those are the places that had humans first, ancestors first. And so as the water reduces, is when the lowest points on the planet were revealed. So when Juku says South Africa, Apora says South Sudan, no, there's a country called Lesotho. There's a country called Lesotho. It's called a country in the sky. They literally live in the sky because it is the highest country in the world. It is the most elevated country in the world. From there, Lesotho is somewhere, is here. Lesotho is here. So, this is the lowest point of the planet. This is the highest point of the planet. When water started draining, water drained up to those lowest points. So when the white man turned the maps upside down, they're trying to counter that story. They're trying to counter that story by saying that this is the place that the planet that were revealed first, because north is what was revealed first. North is the highest point on the planet. The highest point of elevation. So when land is drying and you're getting more land, it's revelation of life. Revelation of life. Anybody else? But this is something that we will learn as we. I will bring more realistic things to explain it as we go. Yeah, Lesotho, that country that Trump said nobody knows about. It was just his ancestors saying, we don't know where home is. We don't know home. We've never heard of home. Lesotho is home. Those are the first places to dry when water was leaving land for people to occupy. Yeah. Have I answered the question of somebody who was asking me that question? I don't think it's such a big deal for land to dry, other than just revelation of life. New life is revealed when water dries. If I'm a river Lake Nile, I know all the behaviors of water. Whenever water leaves a place, there is life there that you must find. And whenever water arrives at a place, there must be life that follows it. How is Mount Everest in them? Mount Everest is, listen, now we're talking about mountains. You know, I've talked to you about the most elevated country in the world. And then there is the tallest mountain in the world. Now, when it comes to mountains, we learn about this thing. Something like Mount Everest is renowned to be the tallest mountain in the world, but it is not an independent mountain. Mount Everest is accompanied by ranges. Mount Everest is not standing alone because, guess, the tallest mountain in the world reveals the place where the most intellectual people are. That is what the tallest mountain is all about. Where the tallest mountain is, that is the place where the most intellectual people on the planet are. Now, when you look at Mount Everest, yes, it is the tallest mountain, but accompanied. It is not standing alone. It cannot stand alone. And then we have Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro is standalone. Standalone. You cannot compare Kilimanjaro to Everest, my friend. Everest is supported. Everest is like that athlete that is going to compete but has been accompanied by, 7-star hotel. They have everything. They've been accompanied by everything. And then Kilimanjaro is that goat that arrives at a competition alone, no parent, no nobody, but still wins. These natural resources, you should also know, because the tallest mountains in the world, most of them are only in East Africa. We have also Mount Kenya, which is the mountain at the equator, also standalone. Most mountains in Africa are standalone, not supported, and that has a spiritual meaning. To me, that the intellectuals, the intelligence that comes from Kilimanjaro and its environs, the people who have that totem, they have intelligence that is independent. Those are people that are smart from birth. They don't need to go to school or do anything to make it when it comes to intellectuals. But then people who hail from places like Mount Everest, support us to be there. So these are some of the things that even Africans need to know. Africans don't even know what we have. Some of our things were renamed to, like for example, something like Mount Everest. Mount Everest, that is not the name of Mount Everest. It was named Mount Everest so that when you think about it, you think it is in Europe. It was named Lake Victoria so that when you think about it, you think it is in Europe. And these are gems. When you're thinking about something, a lot of people think Mount Everest is in Europe because of its name. And when you think that Mount Everest is in Europe, you are already thinking that Europeans are the smartest people. Because Mount Everest means home of some of the smartest people on the planet. Mount Kilimanjaro, home of some of the smartest people on the planet. But then when you put the name to Everest, and then when you think about it, you're thinking about it, Europe. Now you automatically give Europeans that grace of the most intelligent people on the planet. Because the name Mount Everest comes with, even if you don't know, a name like Lake Victoria comes with, I am the consciousness of the planet. I'm the consciousness of the planet. So anytime you're saying Lake Victoria, you're giving it that particular energy. Every time you're saying Mount Everest, you're giving it that particular energy. And where you think it is, you're giving those people that particular energy. I hope that somebody's getting it. It might not make sense to you, but know that names are portals. And our natural resources are also portals for us. So just be aware, if you're somebody who come from around Mount Kilimanjaro, Tanzania should be a country that is very respected. People who live around Mount Kilimanjaro, if you see Mount Kilimanjaro, if you know that there is something about you and intellect that is literally ancient and untamable. Even if you think you're the most stupid person in the world, if you have access to Mount Kilimanjaro, you need to start looking at yourself differently. You need to start looking at yourself differently. Because some of these natural, people don't know about them, but there are things we'll teach slowly as we go. But just know that the natural resources and living around them, they have meanings. That's why they are called things like Mount Sinai in the Bible, Mount Zion in the Bible. They have meaning. They have spiritual meaning. They are not just see that mountain. You were not born there by coincidence. So people who live around Mount Kilimanjaro, people who can see Mount Kilimanjaro anyhow, you need to have a lot of self-respect when it comes to your intellectual. A mountain means the most knowing. When a mountain is the tallest, it is the most knowing. When a tree is the tallest, it is the most knowing. When a human being is the tallest, it is the most knowing. Tall people are more packaged with more information. Tall trees are packaged with more information, so as the mountains. I hope you get it. If you don't get it, forget about it. Forget about it. So guys, need to give the indigenous name back to this place. Yeah, with time. For now, we have men leading. Right now, if you go tell a man, I try talking to some. Guys, I try talking to some men at the level of, hey, you guys, I don't know, people who don't move don't just realize how much we're still in chains.
What's she asking?
People who don't move don't realize just how much we are still in chains. Have you guys tried having conversations, spiritual conversation with some African men, like, who are in positions of leadership? Don't even try if you've never, because you will go back and start crying after you see the amount of work that we have. If you're a spiritual person, the amount of work that we have, you will know when you start speaking to men in power. Start speaking to men in power and you will know where we are. Some of you will vomit. But at the end of the day, it requires patience, and these are things that we will do one step at a time. The beauty about men is that they change very fast. Unlike women, men change very fast. So we are banking on that. We are banking on the fact that men change. They can form a U-turn overnight. Did you see Trump and Elon Musk? Hey, you know what? People with small hearts, people with weak hearts. If you've watched The Lion King, people with weak hearts make weird decisions. People with weak hearts will always fall victim to jealousy and envy. People with weak hearts. And that is what a white man is all about. And you will see it with Trump and Elon. Weak hearts. They are an embodiment of having a weak heart. Fighting because of, you know, greed and 1, 2, 3 that is not seeing the bigger picture. And that is what men are. Men don't see bigger picture, women see bigger picture. Women are cyclic. Women think from January to December. Men think from January to February. Okay, January, February, and then February, March, and then March, April, and then April, June, and then June, July. But a woman thinks about January to December. So women think full. They think about the decision and the repercussion. Men only think about the decision. Repercussion, they will deal with it later. And those are the people that are leading our planet. Those are the people that are leading our planet. It is not... Read intuition. Like, you didn't see this coming when immediately they got into power. Some people were telling Trump that, oh, Elon is the one taking the presidency. Elon is the president. The way Trump responded to that is how I knew that they are weaklings. They are weaklings. And you will think, a lot of Africans think that it is staged, but no, that's how white people behave. That's their behavior. Trump was being told that Elon is going to take the presidency. Elon is going to take, instead of just responding with something mature like, that is not even the priority. He responded what? Oh, he cannot take the president, meaning he was threatened. He believed that, oh, Elon can take the presidency for sure. So his response was, oh, he cannot take the presidency because he was born in South Africa. That's a weak individual. That's weak heart behavior. Weak heart behavior are people that are threatened by competition easily. People who have strong hearts, like Mufasa. Was it Mufasa or something? The Lion King. They don't shake. So some people are saying that it is staged, but me, I want to tell you that that is the behavior of white people, imagine. Very disappointing, very weak behaviors, very weak decisions. But it's good, because now Africans will see them for who they truly are and make decisions for themselves. You will see the type of people you idolize, the way they don't even have control of emotions. And then Africans at least will start to respect themselves out of such behaviors. Because I feel like they're going to get worse. I feel like the trumpets are going to get worse. So guys, it's the way it's supposed to be for Africa to like, yeah, it's happening there. Me, I'm personally not worried. I'm just disappointed in the behavior. Like, I did not expect people who are of that stature or status to behave the way they do. But it is what is mandatory for Africans to see who you are letting lead. And they're going to show you, Europe is about to show Africa a circus of a century. Any African that has even an iota of respect to Europe, you're prepared to lose it completely, because you're going to see the type of people that are in charge of the planet, the type of people that are in charge of the libraries, that are in charge of the dictionary. People who call purple onion red. Those are the people who have been in charge of the coloring things and naming things. So Africans, be ready to occupy as we go. Because I know Africans are already, be opportunists. Be opportunist, complete opportunist. Like right now you see, things are changing, dynamics are changing. Even here online, streaming is the thing. Kaisenet, iShowSpeed, DDG, they're already showing you guys the direction to go. This thing of pretending to be, in Hollywood, there's no money there. And guys, let me just tell you, people call it gossip or whatever, I don't care. People like Beyonce or these Hollywood people. Do you ever see these people harvesting 7 days? These people don't harvest 7 days. Somebody like Beyonce, out of 12 months, this girl works for 3 months or 2 months. Mansa Musa will tell you no riches will ever accumulate from that. No true riches will ever accumulate from not harvesting the 7 days. And there is a new chapter that is beginning. The live streaming or whatever they are doing on Twitch. Harvesting every day. Now that is where the wealth is. Black men that are going to be billionaires, harvesting every day. Mansa Musa will tell you harvesting every day. You cannot just wake up and then you harvest. Even if you harvest infinitely, but you only do it once or twice a month. As in you do it two times, 2 months in a year. No wealth. True wealth comes from harvesting the 7 days. And that is what Hollywood was not teaching. So they have a lot of people who are poor and broke in Hollywood, but they don't want to tell anybody. And a lot of people are believing them that they are rich because they don't know where wealth comes from. Wealth comes from harvesting the 7 days consistently. That's the only way you become wealthy, my people.
Okay.
I'll tell you that for free.
Okay.
Mansa Musa, that's the reason why there's no other man that has ever been as wealthy as Mansa Musa in the world. Because Mansa Musa knew astrology, knew the ways of harvesting true wealth. It is inside showing up in putting yourself in a way that you show up 7 days a week. Setting yourself up to show up 7 days a week. That's the only way you build wealth that is buffalo. All these other ways of making money is cows. Normal cows that anybody can kill. Normal cows that can be hunted by the wild beasts. Normal cows that have no self-defense. But if you want buffalo, self-defending, self-fending, self-protecting, everything, you have to harvest the 7 days. So guys, get into it. Harvest your 7 days. A lot of people who harvest 7 days are better off than people who they don't work and then they go for 5 concerts in a year or 10 concerts in a year. And then that other time they don't do anything. They don't do anything tangible. There's no money that comes out of that. Are we together?
We had our eyes wide open for like a minute and 30 seconds.
Yes. Yeah, some of us Africans we've already seen. And we no longer idolize, so the ball is moving. So guys, allow me to take up, to call this class of The next class I'm going to be having, obviously, you know, next Wednesday. It's going to be about respiratory system and June. So that's all I'll be talking about next time. I'm going to be talking about us transitioning into another realm to start afresh.
I'm gonna go eat.
What?
Oh.
Yeah. Otherwise, thank you for coming to class and
Okay.
prioritize yourself. Prioritize yourself. And guys, me, I love how our classes are. Thank you guys, all of you that come. I will come to class even if we remain 50 of us. I will always come to class. I love these classes and I plan on doing them for very long. But for now, I just want to be at this space where we are. I don't want to introduce anything new or, you know, introduce myself to a new routine. There are new routines that we're supposed to be embarking on, but not yet. Until this foundation is built, until we know the 12 houses, the day is the same as the body and the same as the year, and then we move on from there. We are going to move on with everybody. We will teach everybody, even if it means showing you how to spend each and every second of your time. We are going to get there. Because at the end of the day, that is all we need to build. Otherwise, I hope that you coming to our classes really energizes you. We took a break also on OnlyFans. I'm coming back again with the new content starting from the middle of this month. And I think as I come back to OnlyFans is when I'm also going to go back to posting on stories to inform you about next classes, as I always did in the past. But for now, please take care of yourself and know that me, I'm around to teach. Tell your friends to come to class. I will not be posting as much on my page yet. There are things we're still waiting for. There are things, you know, we are still here and there. There are movements we're still working on and stuff like that. Even as TikTok, you know, TikTok has still not yet been released by the Americas. So they're still having issues. So let's just continue moving and just know that I'll always be here as long as the internet is here. Sometimes we move pole, sometimes we move haraka. Like right now, it is slow movement and I'm okay with it. I hope you're also okay with the slow movement that you're making. I have no hurry. There's no hurry in Africa because what I teach, we cannot rush it. The things that I teach have to be consumed slowly, by slowly. And my goal is impact. I don't care about views. I'll just tell you that for free. I don't care about views. If I was to get more views, I would be like, yes, thank you. But that is not what I'm looking at right now. A time is coming when I will focus on views. But for now, allow me to focus on you people who are already here with me. You are the people I want to focus on. I don't want to chase other students yet. I want to finish with the ones that I have. And then, after I'm done with you guys, in a way that you can walk on your own confidently, then we can start to expand. Plans to expand are there, but we just still don't feel like it's time to expand yet. Also with everything that is going on in the world, just take your time, guys. It is not a good time to launch right now. I'll tell you that for free. Right now is not a good time to launch, it's not a good time to start a business, it's not a good time to, you know, initiate contracts. It's not. The world is fighting. When you see the world fighting from the outside, know that even inside we are fighting. So fight for your space. And then when the flag gets swiped, then you will know the right time to launch yourself. But don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry to launch yourself. In whichever projects that you're doing, take your time to marinate. Take your time to cook properly. Don't be in a rush. And I always tell you, as long as, make sure you're earning. If you're not earning, make sure you're learning. So even with content creation in Africa, African content creators, I know there are people who are looking at me here who are African content creators. This is not the time for you to launch yourself with a lot of force. they're not even monetizing Africans yet here on TikTok and other platforms where they're monetizing us. It is shameful. The amount of money that they give per views to Africans compared to other people, it is a shameful amount. And that's why the desert stays desert. Because there are certain Africans who are very good content creators, but don't create your content if it is going to be humiliated. That is also one of the reasons why also me, I just keep my low. Because guys, let's just be honest. There's no way I will be in Africa here, I'm creating content that is valuable, and I'm getting nothing from the views. And then somebody in America is creating, get ready with me to go to the mall. And they're being paid. It is humiliation. That is what happened during slavery. What is happening on TikTok and the social media platforms is telling Africa a replay of what our ancestors went through. The exact same thing we are going through. You're working the same, but your counterparts in Europe are being paid and you're not being paid in Africa. It has been the same for our ancestors. And it will never change until we vocalize. And one thing that made me sad was that these things, you change them from the inside. When I was put in a WhatsApp group of Kenyan creators, hey, me, I get social, that's why I prioritize solace, because I feel like I'm somewhere where a lot of people are not. And there's no need for me to rub shoulders. When I was put in WhatsApp, TikTok group for Kenyans, it wasn't all Africans, it was Kenyans first of all. So me, obviously, I will always ask the question. You take me to the boss, I'll always ask what I need to ask. Guys, do you know Kenyan content creators refuse to support my quest? Just asking why are they not paying? Because nobody has ever given us an explanation that makes sense. Because of the blue tick, Kenyans creators looked at me like I was being a crazy person, like I was being a difficult person, just because they wanted the blue tick. And blue tick does not come with any man. So nowadays they have blue tick, no money coming, and it's when they start crying. But in the beginning, these are some of the questions. You know, sometimes when you're just told, tell us Africans, okay, this is the reason why we are not paying you. Africans, we will mobilize ourselves and we will say, okay, this is the reason why they are not paying us. This is the reason why they are not paying us. Let us strategize. Because people are making, other countries are making very good money on TikTok. I'll tell you that for free, even on social media. People are raising families on social media with content that is bottom of the barrel compared to certain content that Africans have. But why are they not paying us? And when they pay 0.001% of what they're paying others. So guys, most Africans are people pleasers. The reason why Africans are not being paid is because Africans who have made it to the places where they're supposed to be talking for other Africans are people pleasers. They are scared that if they dare ask questions, they will not be given the blue tick. Blue tick that comes with 0 shillings. $0. That is what some Africans are chasing, priorities. So, no, just know, the reason why Africans are where they are is because of Africans as well. Because if you start to question and if you start to, the amount of money that is being made on our heads as Africans, man, it's trillions. It's trillions. And it is not encouraging. Guys, there's nothing, when you do work without encouragement, you will deteriorate. When you do work without motivation, you will burn out. African creators are burning out. Perfect African, excellent African creators burning out. But there's 0 motivation. But then, I thank God, personally, I thank God for things like subscription, series that they brought and then they removed. Those are the only ways that people like me, and now OnlyFans, I thank God for that, because now Instagram is also another. So guys, Africans need to learn to advocate for themselves, but we cannot do it alone. Me, I cannot fight for all Africans alone. And I think that is even the reason why my ancestors now said, okay, they are not willing to fight with you on this thing. Because when I was fighting for this thing, I hadn't had subscription or anything. There was nothing. So So me, I was just like, hey, at least pay us. And then after that, they did not, and then my ancestors, I think, just said, you take subscription and go. And yeah, sometimes you ought to just worry about yourself and go. If the people that you're supposed to be pulling up with to worry about Africa as a whole are not willing, they want you to go and crash out on your own so that they can reap the benefits while they talk shit about you that, oh, she's just being so difficult. Those ones are the reasons why Africans do what? I can never fight for you. Me, I'll even tell you as my subscriber, as my student today, I will never fight. You will never see me fighting for something that has nothing to do with me. You will never, my friend. Anytime you see me fighting for something, know that it has something to do with me. Even if you see me defending someone in the comment section, know that that life that I've lived all my years, that has something to do with me. I'll never defend things that have nothing to do with me. And when I'm defending things that have everything to do with me, and the people that are supposed to be with me to increase the number of defense are not willing, then I just quit it and look for something else, manifest something else, and move on. Because at the end of the day, we need to fight, all of us. We need to fight, all of us. It is unfair, and nobody is telling Africans why are Africans not being paid. Or the people who, I don't care about anybody else who's not being paid. I just care about Africans. Because Africans feel content so much. Even those European content, Africans are boosting it. Africans do content, we do good content. Deserve to be paid. Nobody's paying Africans, and then you wonder why Africa is a desert. Even best creators from Africa, you'll never see them because we are not being paid for our work. And the ones that are paying us are disrespectful. Something that, like YouTube, Twitch, look at what they're paying Africans and then look at what they're paying the Americans, of which they might claim that the differences in currency or whatever, but it's not our problem. As we are here on TikTok, are we good or bad? We are there on YouTube, are we good or bad? You cannot pay me less because I come from a country that has low currency. If we're going to work, let us work, be paid equally. It doesn't matter where somebody is living. And these are things that a lot of people are not ready to talk about because people are afraid that if Africans get paid, we will be too rich. When we are too rich now, we will be unruly. That is the only reason why Africans are not being paid. So much that they even stopped the series thing. Because now there were a lot of Africans were making money out of it. There are corporations, governments that ensure that Africans are not being paid. They don't want Africans to skyrocket. But we have to fight for it. We have to fight for it. Nobody will fight for it alone. We have to reach a point where we come together. And me, I'm waiting. The day Africans will want to join, I'll be at the forefront to ask questions. Why are we not being... Tell us, then we fix it within 2 months. The problem. So that you start paying us. But then, what I noticed is Africans love the blue tick. They love people pleasing more than they love money. And then there's me who loves money more than I love people pleasing. So we clashed. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, and keep putting Africa in your prayers because we need this money from online. We need Africans to join platforms like Twitch to start streaming and bringing money home. We need the money. Put your hands in the money, my friend. Put your hand in the money. Me, I'll always tell you that. Is that money on Twitch? Is it on OnlyFans? Is it on TikTok? Is it on a business? Clothing business? Medicine business? Where is that money at? Put your hands on the money. Put your hands on the money. And when you want to put your hands on the money and somebody is refusing, ask that person, why are you refusing my hand on the money? Africans, put your hands on the money. There's a lot of money. You cannot say there's no money. Africans cannot say there's no money. Please. That is no longer an excuse. There's a lot of money. Put your hand, find a place to put your hand in the money. There's money, oh. Sisi tunazishikashika huku kule hapa kule. Tunajua kuna pesa. But as you put your hand on the money, also proceed with moderation. Go with the pace of the tortoise. The money is always there. The moment you figure out how to put your hand on it, it will always be there. So put your hand on the money, African. People have their hands on the money. Put your hand on the money. We need African Americans to find home in Africa and bring our... We don't even need African Americans to come home in Africa. African Americans just, stay where you are. Put your hand on the money. And then as Africans, we also put our hands on the money. That's all we need. We don't even need migration, blah, blah, blah. Put your hand on the money from where you are, wherever you are. Because I'm telling you, money is the voice on this world. Money is morality. Money is what gives you laws. Money put laws in place. Money control governments. Put your hand on the money, my friend. Especially women. Yes, put your hands. Find a place to put your... There's money. Just put your hand on it. Find out your place and put your hand on the money, please. Put your hand on the money as an African. Put your hand on the money. A time is coming when you will have no voice if your hand is on no man. Find a river. Find your river. Find your river where you fetch your currency. Find your river where you fetch your currency. Otherwise, thank you so much, guys, for coming to this live. And as your teacher, I'm always happy to have you and to go overboard, to meander, to do the side shows, and still to cover. Somebody's telling me to talk about women leaders. Women are the leaders. I say this time without number. Women are the leaders. I know women are the leaders, but men are in leadership. Also acknowledge. Men are the ones in leadership, but women are the true leaders. So women, how are you going to get your hand in the power? Figure out how to get your hand in power as a woman. Whether it's through your vagina or through your authenticity, nobody gives a fuck. Find a way to get your hands in power as well. Be in very close proximity with people in power as a woman. Be in very close proximity with people in power. And just work your way from there. Most of the time, the beauty about women is you don't have to be the face in power. You can just have a man as your face in power. So, find also your way into power. By that I mean, start looking at where the men that have power. Not as a way that, I want him to fuck me or whatever, but as a way of, this is who I'm getting the power from. Collaborate with them. And with time, the transition will occur. But for now, we don't have so much women in power, and the ones we have, give them grace soon. That's all I'll say, because women are natural empaths. Women have more empathy, they listen more, especially when it comes to taking care of the planet. So, South African women, be around Julius Malema, Ramaphosa. Nigerian women, don't leave Tinubu alone. Even if he's old, we can manage our hunger. Be around Tinubu. And as a woman, accessing a man is very easy. Intuition, feed them your left breast, and then see what the universe does with that. You can insert, as a woman, you can insert yourself anywhere at any time. Those are some of the privileges that we have. A man doesn't have to know you for you to insert yourself in their life. So insert yourself in places you need to insert yourself. Don't wait for power to come in your hand for you to take action. Women, are we together? I know 2-3 women are hearing me. You are enough portals to get the information to the infinite. Start behaving like a leader as a woman. Me right now, I'm at a point in my life where if you are a woman and you don't know what you want, but I don't want you. I don't even want to. If you're a woman, you're not behaving like a leader. I don't respect you. Right now, the only women I give a little bit of grace, a little bit, are women who still call God, or use Him. Women who still call the Creator Him. Though, the moment you say that, I know we can never be friends, but at least I give you grace. I'm like, oh, probably she doesn't know yet. Women act like leaders, and don't be intimidated when other women are acting like leaders also. And as I finish, because I'm talking about women know the relationship you have with other women. Because without us having a relationship with each other, we cannot also lead the planet. It is women who are going to enable the planet to be led properly, even when men are still in power. So a woman, the relationship between a woman and a woman, you must know the spiritual relationship between a woman and a woman. The relationship between a woman and a woman is different from the relationship between a man and a woman. So first of all, we women, our vagina is like one of the most powerful things that we have. Whether you like it or not, I don't care what anybody says. A woman's vagina is the most powerful thing she has. What does the vagina represent? The house of Virgo. No, the house of Scorpio. That is the tourist attraction side. That's the self-desire side. Now, a woman who desires herself, who's using her self-desire, will only get along with another woman who is also using their self-desire. A woman who thinks she's beautiful can never get along with a woman who thinks that she's ugly. Miss Virinyan, can I think I'm beautiful, and you a woman? We can never get along. Woman will not allow the beautiful woman to drown in her Scorpio energy. Women should be willing. Best friendship between women is, are you willing to watch another woman soak in their Scorpio energy? Or will it make you uncomfortable? Some women are uncomfortable when another woman, when their fellow woman is soaking in their Scorpio energy. For example, I'll give you an example. I'm somebody, I soak in my Scorpio energy like a motherfucker. When I meet another woman who doesn't soak in their Scorpio energy, they're going to automatically feel ashamed when they're around me. Whenever I start doing my Scorpio energy things, then they'll be like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? Oh my God, they are so good. Now, how can I top that up? That is how a woman who doesn't soak in their Scorpio energy will be feeling when you are a woman who is soaking in your Scorpio energy is soaking. And two of you shouldn't be friends. If a woman feels small when you're soaking in your own Scorpio energy, that should never be your friend. And that's proximity. You should only be friends with women who can soak in their Scorpio energy and allow you to soak in your Scorpio energy. For example, me, when another woman is seeing themselves as beautiful, like being in their Scorpio energy, it turns me on. It makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so fucking good. It makes me feel like I want to be close to them more because I also know how to soak in my Scorpio energy. Because I also think I'm beautiful. So when another woman thinks they're beautiful, it makes me even happy. But then there are women who, you thinking you're beautiful is an offense to them. Those ones, they can never build an empire. Those ones are, sorry to say this, but those ones are fibroid receptors. They have so much reception for fibroids, jealousy and envy. Jealousy is good, envy is bad. So those ones you just adjust proximity, and by adjusting proximity, guys, I can be your friend and we are not, proximity is not there. Adjusting proximity is just me saying, baby, I love you so much, but I don't want you to hurt me. I don't want to hurt you. Because I know that we are so stuck, we are so opposite. It's going to reach a point where you're either going to hurt me so much and I'm going to defend myself and hurt you so much. So let's just not. That is what adjusting proximity is. It's care. It is caring for somebody else because you know how much you're going to clash, because you know your colors are not matching. So you just adjust proximity. Also, if you're a woman, also me as a woman, I can meet another woman who intimidates me, who makes me feel like I'm worthless and ugly. You know what I do? Proximity. If a woman makes me feel like, oh my God, I'm too ugly, I just remove them from my reality, because probably they're at a level where I'm not even going to be reaching anytime soon, and I don't want stress. Cut off and go wear your own coat that fits you. So women just, somebody might not match your proximity today, tomorrow they might. Women are also changing every day. So just give people, I usually like when people separate amicably, especially when there was no vurugu and whatever. If you notice you're not blending, just separate amicably. And when I separate amicably with someone, I'm always leaving that bridge standing, because I might come back one day. Instead of waiting for it to get so messy that you have to burn the bridge. So learn to adjust your proximity, and you always know. You always know when a woman is feeling insecure around you. Don't overdo. When a woman is feeling insecure around, just let them go. You are too big for them to bite. You are choking them. And then go towards the women who you know they love how you feel yourself, and you love how they feel themselves. And then get on with those. The world has 8 billion people. Don't overstay in a space. Don't sit in shit too long. It will stop smelling, and when it stops smelling, know that you are the one who is now smelling. Yeah. So guys, let's continue. It is June. We are soon getting into July, to get to August, and then to get to October. Those are my favorite places to be. And to get to August and then to October, and then the year is over. But for now, this is all. And I think that's all the questions that you had for me. And I can go, right? Yes, June Focus is coming on Wednesday. June Focus is coming on Wednesday. When is the best time to launch something like a business? Probably on Tuesday or Thursday. Tuesday energies, Mars energies and Sagittarius energy. That is Aries energy and Sagittarius energy. Look at them in the nini that I drew. Yeah. Otherwise, can you save or have a man? Yes. You can even save and harvest a day that has passed, because remember, everything is in the day, it's inside the day. So you can even use the day to harvest the harvest that your ancestors did not harvest. You can even use the day to go back infinitely. Like, there's a lot. We will get into it one day, Wamshi, but yes, you can. You can harvest even a year that you did not harvest. It just depends. You see, when you're a student,
Is that where a bomb
when you're a student and you've been away, you did not do homework for 1 month.
Is that the same spot?
Then you come back to school and there's a pile of homework for 1 month. So now how you organize yourself to do the homework for 1 month, now it's up to you. You know, it requires more focus, more military focus, more alone time, more you focusing on yourself can bring you back the years that you lost. One jump. Okay? Planets at home in their science, the ancestors have already accomplished well. Yes. When is the right time to launch a business? Meaning months. When is the right month? You're asking when is the right month to launch a business? Or what? When's the right month to launch a business? still Aries. Still spring, still Aries, still Mars energy. So in March. And if you miss launching it in March, you can launch it. I cannot advise you to launch in September if you are in Americas. If you are from North America, in Europe, Western Europe, if you are in Russia, you know, those countries up there, I wouldn't advise you to launch any business in September. But if you are in Africa, you can launch in September or March or also November. November too. Yes. What if the planets in the expanded are aligned in Uranus Neptune? What if the planets in the expanded are aligned? I don't comprehend that question. But Uranus is quantum jump. Uranus is associated with quantum jump, which is the expanded version of Mercury. Neptune is associated with ethereal appearance, which is the expanded version of Venus. Pluto is associated with transformation, which is the expanded version of Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter. Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn, those are action-oriented planets. When you do them for too long, you end up with moody. Anyway, allow me to go. Mainyango, you can come with that question in the inbox. Sijaelewa vizuri. Sielewi ni nini unamaanisha by what is. That is confusing me. Thank you guys and see you again on Wednesday. Bye. Na wapenanga hata sitakani kuwaacha, lazima naacha.
You away.